Happy Victory Monday, Saints fans. Welcome into today's show. And as always, I need your help. We always ask you guys to do something, but today I want you to help me out by helping me grow my Twitter account. So DM me Victory, and if you do, because I'm feeling generous on this Victory Monday, I'm going to give you a follow back to celebrate that 34-0 dub that the Saints caught over those fraudulent New England Patriots. Dennis Allen out, Coach Bill Belichick. We'll see you in the retirement home, Billy. Hey, and without further ado, let's get into the show. Stocks is what we're talking about today. We're talking Saints, stock up, stock down players after the big win over the Patriots. We also have some injury updates, so be sure to stick around for all of that. But without further ado, I just want to get straight into the content. Stock up big time for AK41, who, big shout out to him, is now the all-time leading scorer for the New Orleans Saints. And boy, did he put on a clinic yesterday. 22 carries, 80 yards, a touchdown on the ground. He also had 3 receptions for 17 yards. Obviously, the numbers could be a little bit better. There was an Adam Prentice hold that, resulted in the play getting brought back. It would have been Alvin Kamara's biggest run of the day. So you hate to see that. But that being said, I am not just a fan of what Alvin Kamara has been able to do on the field. I'm also a fan of what he's doing off the field and in the locker room. Don't get me wrong. The production is incredible. He looks electric. He's got that pop. He has that quick step. He is finding holes giggity as quick as he possibly can, hitting them and finding open space. But I will also say this, he stepped up big time as a leader. And going into this week, the Saints needed somebody to say, hey, this isn't okay. We got to brush this last week off. That's not what we're about. We got to come back this week and be stronger and better than we were in the past. And so here's what Alvin Kamara did say during his little post-game interview in the locker room. He said, me and Derek were talking all game. I was going to Pete Carmichael, the OC, trying to nudge him and run some things that Mike Thomas likes, that the offensive line likes, or things that I saw that I liked, and collaborating and doing what everyone's comfortable with doing, trying to get the ball spread out and be efficient on both sides. We got too many playmakers to have a blank offense. You see it on screen. And I totally agree. I couldn't agree more. I mean, this team has so many offensive weapons. Let's just go through them. Just a handful of them. Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara, Kendre Miller, Michael Thomas, Juwan Johnson when he's healthy, A.T. Perry if he can be used, Rashid Shaheed, Foster Morrow, Taysom Hill. I mean, that's just a handful of them. This team has so much offensive talent, and this team has the ability to really make some noise. If the coaching can be better, if the coaching can be smarter, and the execution every week can look like what it was in week 5, this team could really make a run in the postseason. So I just want to say congratulations to AK41. So help me show him some love by typing his jersey number 41 in the comment section. Like I said, all-time leading scorer for Alvin Kamara. That ain't easy to do. He's had to beat out a lot of really good people. Marcus Colston, sorry, man. The crown belongs to AK41 now, but hey, show him some love. Type 41 in the comment section. All right, number 2, the Adam Prentice, the fullback, stock down. Big time stock down, and not just because of what he did this week, but what he did last week too. And I mean, I'm just not crazy about what Adam Prentice has been able to do. I mean, he's actually been more of a liability than anything. He's been struggling big time. And here are just 3 key things that I wanted to talk about. And there's a lot of other things to talk about. But here's one of the first ones. I mentioned it during the Alvin Kamara part. Holding penalty that canceled out Kamara's biggest run against the Patriots. Can't let that happen. He's also given up multiple sacks after missing blocks, just completely whiffing on him, just completely not seeing him. It's inexcusable. You're an NFL player. Figure it the F out. I don't know what to tell you. And then, do we have to talk about it? I hate to remind you, but that absolutely crucial fumble on the goal line after the interception in the end zone, that was ruled to be like on the 1 or 2. You gave the Bucs possession inside the 5-yard line again. Like, unacceptable. And here's the thing. He also had an injury update around Adam Prentice, so, we got to talk about this. He was listed as questionable to return versus New England with a knee injury. Happened in the second half. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. There's not really a ton of information out there, so if there is any updates that's worth noting or worth talking about, we will be able to break that down here on the channel or on my Twitter at Trace Girouard 48. That's why you should give me a follow. But here's my thing. We shouldn't be hearing much about a fullback. The fact that we're even talking about a fullback today just shows how bad it's been. Like, A fullback is supposed to be pretty behind the scenes, unless you're like a Mike Allstott. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we shouldn't be talking about him all this much. That's because he's been playing so bad. It's like the offensive line rule. If you don't know about the guys on the offensive line, it's probably because they're playing pretty well. And here's the thing. Adam Prentice isn't a game changer. He's not a guy who, when he has the ball in his hands, he's going to make a huge impact and lead to a lot of points. I don't even think he's really that great of a blocker anymore. I think that he's kind of he's just kind of taking a step back. Sure, he was the lead blocker for Alvin Kamara when he scored that touchdown, but that's just doing his job. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that if the Saints were to bring in a fullback for a tryout, not even just to sign him, but hey, say, hey, Prentice, here's the thing. Your roster spot's not safe. His roster spot should not be locked in every single week. The Saints should be comfortable with saying, hey, let's go work out another fullback. Worst case scenario, you get better production out of him, or you find a new fullback. So that's just my point. That's my little rant on that. But I want to hear from you, Saints fans. What say you? Should the Saints cut or keep Adam Prentice? Just let me know in the comment section by typing simple, cut or keep. And here's one of my favorite ones to talk about today. I mean, I'm not going to lie. When I thought about this idea for the show today, I was like, Carl Granderson is the one I want to talk about the most because, goodness gracious, he's played lights out so far this season. And just in 2023, look at the stats. 17 tackles, 5 tackles for a loss. He leads the team with sacks with 3.5. And he has 8 quarterback hits. I mean, the guy's production has been stellar this year. And I really, 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 really hope that Carl Granderson can work out long-term and be pretty much a Cam Jordan replacement. I mean, could you imagine Carl Granderson, Brian Brzee for the long-term holding it down in the trenches on the defensive side of the ball for New Orleans? That'd be awesome because, and on top of that, the work that he put in, not just this offseason, but last season. I mean, you saw the progression towards the end of the season every single week. And then now you're seeing it every week here. He's been dominant. He's been one of the best pass rushers in the league this season. And it shows every single week. I mean, look at the impact. In sacks, he is first on the team with 3.5. He's also first in quarterback hits with 8. And tackles for a loss, he's first as well with 5. I mean, I cannot sit here and argue the fact that Carl Granderson has earned his contract extension. He had earned every single penny of that thing, and I cannot wait to see how he continues to develop. And coming up, we're going to talk about Chris Olave. Is he stock up or is he stock down? Stick around, you'll find out. But before we get to that, I got to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Game Time. And let me tell you, I mean, Game Time is one of the best apps, especially if you like going to concerts, games, live events, all sorts of that stuff. I mean, it's the best seats, lowest price, guaranteed. And I've been using Game Time for a while, and it's my go-to ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and comedy shows. This year alone, I got to go see John Mayer and Dead & Co. with the Chat Sports crew. Got to see Red Clay Strays. I bought tickets to Zach Bryan in Dallas next year, and I bought tickets for my girlfriend's birthday to the Dallas Stars here in DFW. And if you're a Saints fan, I mean, look at this. Look how easy this app is to use. I love the user interface. You can literally pick up your phone, like this picture right here. You can do this. You can kind of see, all right, is there a pole in my way? Is there going to be a big scoreboard? Am I high or am I low? What is my point of view at my seat? It is absolutely stellar. And if you use code SAINTSCHAT, you get $20 off your first purchase. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code SAINTSCHAT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code SAINTSCHAT for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right. You guys are going to hate me. Chris Olave, stock down. And before you come for my throat, go ahead and put the pitchforks away because I truly do believe this. Chris Olave is a special talent. He is a guy who every single week is going to be a playmaker. You get him the ball, he's going to be okay. He just isn't being utilized enough. That's my problem. And that's not a Chris Olave thing. It's a coaching issue. I mean, look at the numbers. Look at Olave's game log here. So week 1 through week 5. In week 1, 10 targets, 8 receptions, 112 yards. No touchdowns, but hey, still had over 100 yards. He replicated that in week 3 in that disgusting loss. Chris Olave maybe gotten a couple extra catches. maybe it would have been a different game. And on top of that, week 4, y'all remember that ugly game? 1 reception for 4 yards. Not okay. And yesterday, 5 targets, 2 receptions, 12 yards, and a touchdown. Finally got on the board, finally found the end zone. And here's my point. You have to put the ball in number 12's hands because he is an absolutely transcendent talent. He is slippery. He can find the ball like nobody's business. He is a great route runner. He can catch pretty much anything if you just get him a chance. He's the leading receiver for New Orleans right now, despite the numbers, which is actually pretty crazy to think about. I think that Chris Olave is a stud, and I think that he could be a big-time player for this team for a very, very long time if the Saints utilize him correctly. And if they don't, I fear you may risk losing him in the future. An injury update around him. There's a lot of people talking about this and a lot of people asking this question during our live watch party. What was going on with Olave? Why was there videos with him with trainers at the beginning of the game? So the reports were that Olave was dealing with the toe issue in the pregame, so he's working with trainers, kind of working stuff out. But Dennis Allen did say that he finished the game without any problems, without further issues or anything like that. So I think we can all just take a deep breath, relax. It's okay. Maybe he's up on the injury report. Maybe it's probably a limited participant if he's on that. I'm not going to speculate too much on it, though, but I do want to do this. I want to celebrate Chris Olave's first touchdown out of the season because there's going to be a lot more of the – you're going to see a lot more – we're going to see a lot more of this. I feel like we're going to see a lot more of this. So if you want to see some more of that, not from me, from that guy, hit the thumbs up icon, like this video, because, I can't dance. Chris Olave, though, he's got them moves like Jagger. And here's the thing. Blake Grupe, another guy, stock up for me. I will continue to say this. The Saints nailed the decision to go with Grupe over Will Lutz. And look at what Grupe's been able to do this season. 11 for 12. Should be 12 for 12 or 11 for 11 if you want to take away that one miss against the Packers. That was a game winner. Let's call it how it is. He shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. You got to make it. I'm not going to sit here and say, Blake, it's okay, you missed it. But you got to make it, but he shouldn't have been in that situation to begin with. He's also perfect from 50 yards plus. Yesterday, had 2 field goals of 50-plus yards. Outdoor stadium. Wind, that was at about 12 to 15 miles per hour yesterday. The Patriots kicker missed one. Blake Grupe, though, was perfect. He's been good from as far away as 54, and he's been perfect on extra points. And I just love what Blake Grupe's been able to do. Big-time stock up for me to keep it moving, little Grupe. And here's my thing. We've been talking about stock up, stock down, but I'm going to say stop investing right here. Sell the stock. Just get rid of all of it right now. Sell the house, sell the farm. I don't care what you want to say. But the Saints have to stop investing in penalties because yesterday you had 12 penalties for 86 yards. You will lose close games with that. If you do that week in and week out, you will lose close games. That is unacceptable. You can't be doing that. And at the end of the day, I am a firm believer that penalties are a coaching problem. Clean it up, DA. We're at week 6. We're about a third of the way through the season. There's no more excuses. Figure it out now or don't figure it out at all. I don't like option number 2. So figure it out today. Clean up the penalties, sure. Maybe a few mistakes happen. Bad calls happen. It's football. There's no such thing as a perfect game. But what I will say is you have to limit the mistakes that you can control. And penalties, especially pre-snap penalties, are ones you can control. So it's got to stop. It's got to stop. Bully the Saints into less penalties by typing flag in the comment section. We did this during the watch party yesterday. There were some penalties. We bullied them into it. So maybe long-term this might work out. So let's see on the regular videos for our on-demand content if it will work out as well. Type flag to bully the Saints into less penalties. And as always, Saints fans, y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.